What's up, y'all? So I got to go ahead and play Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies early, and it's going to be available globally on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and PC through Battle.net, Microsoft Store, and Steam on Friday, October 25th, 2024, and I'm here to give you all the information on what's coming for Zombies. All right, so for your basic info, round-based Zombies is back, and it's actually going to hold the omnidirectional movement that multiplayer has. So you can slide any way you want without losing your momentum. Now, you are going to have HUD presets like you can in multiplayer. So they're presets and you can select from different ones. You can't actually customize them, which sucks, but if you're a streamer, it's going to be really great for moving it out from under your camera. You can also toggle health bars and zombie damage numbers, which is going to be huge. I personally don't like seeing health bars. I do like seeing the damage numbers though. That makes my brain feel good for some reason. You can also toggle pack-a-punch camos if it's a little bit too bright or flashy in your eyes, and you can actually just turn that off. Another great feature is that you can join any friend's game anytime, even after you disconnect. And you can keep playing after the main quest is completed and keep playing until you die. Another big thing is that you can actually change your field upgrade mid-match. And this, for all my story friends, for all the people who love lore, this directly picks up where Cold War left off with a prison rescue 5 years later. The coolest part is that there are going to be new different size zombies and actual variants that are born from each zombie. So we'll get into that later, but it's going to be kind of creepy. One of the biggest changes that I think a lot of players are not going to like, me included, is that you can only craft 3 self-revives per game, even if you're playing solo. However, you are allowed to play in third-person mode. You can switch anytime you want, and it's just a toggle, so I don't know. I personally like first person, but it'd be cool. Now, here's the biggest thing that I think solo players are going to love. You get 1 save slot if you're playing solo. So if you disconnect, it actually counts it as you having made a save file, even if you didn't, and it'll save your spot at the very top of the round. So each save always starts at the top of the round. Also, in order to be able to save in the middle of a match, you actually need to be full HP and in a safe location in order to save and quit. So if you're surrounded by a bunch of zombies and getting hit, you can't just save and quit from there. That's not how it's going to work. But hey, we have save files now. That's pretty cool. Now, as far as maps, there are going to be 2 maps at launch: Liberty Falls, which is like a little small town, and Terminus, a big prison island. Think of it as like an Alcatraz version, okay? It's really interesting, and both map events are happening at the same time. So Terminus is the biggest round-based map ever made. This is the map that I got to preview, so I can't really speak to the other one. I can't speak to Liberty Falls, but I can tell you all about Terminus. So it's the highest packed map with so many secrets and side quests, and it has multi-levels. And the pack-a-punch machine actually sits on a platform that you can toggle to move up and down different levels with just a press of a button. It does take a little while though. So now with Terminus, of course, because it is on an island, you can do water travel. You can actually swim around, or you can summon a boat, which is an instant summon. You do have to use some points in order to call it, but basically you will never be without a boat as long as you have the points for it. There are underground rotations with tunnels through the waters and even zip lines above the ground. And it's really interesting. We actually used the tactical raft to get around to different points of interest on Terminus because, again, you can go to the other little bunches of land around Terminus, which is really interesting. And sometimes you're really encouraged to go out there because there's some good loot there. There might be some good wall weapons around there as well, and it just helps you get away from a big crowd of zombies if you're really struggling. However, if you stay out in the water too long, you will get punished for it. We didn't really get to see what happens, but apparently there's something big that'll come after you, so you do not want to be in the water for a while. So there is this new cool little trap that you can put up on the door, or you can actually summon this tentacle monster. So you activate this button on the doorway wherever it's applicable, and it'll actually activate this tentacle trap. So it's really interesting because players can also get grabbed by this, but you can knife it or you can have your friends shoot it to release you, but it'll basically grab up any zombies that comes through the doorway, and it gives you a little bit of time to breathe. Another environmental tool that you can have is the Void Cannon, which is this giant cannon on the roof. And when fired, it draws in surrounding zombies through a black hole, which you have to activate through a console on the side of the cannon. So it's really useful when you can get it, but be careful because you can also get sucked into this. And we have no idea what happens, but apparently something interesting. Can happen if you get sucked in. Now, returning, we do have Gregory Weaver, Elizabeth Gray, Mackenzie Carver, and new player Maya Aguinaldo. So those are the people who are coming back. Those are the characters that if you play as them, you get very exclusive dialogue and plot points that happen through the actual story. Now, for the supporting cast, all the NPCs that are going to be helping you through this, we have William Peck, Oscar Strauss, Raptor One, and Edward Richtofen, our favorite guy we love to hate. So with zombies, of course, as things have been in the past, you can level things in zombies that actually carry over to the multiplayer. So it's global progression. There is a new permanent progression system for zombies specifically, where it's called augments. So these are going to be permanent upgrades to perks, ammo mods, and fuel upgrades. So think of it as like different stats that you can level up per each category. So for perks, you could have something be elevated with that. With ammo, you can have certain ammo mods be a little bit more effective. I didn't really get to see everything in this, but we all know that it's going to be a separate tab. You can have 3 major augments and 3 minor, and you can only equip 1 major and 1 minor per perk, ammo mods, and field upgrades. So for a total, you're going to have 3 major and 3 minor all across the board, but for each individual tab, you're only going to have 1 of each. So the way that augments can be unlocked is they can be researched. You just choose which one you want and you just play zombies and you end up unlocking it the more XP you earn. At launch, there's actually going to be over 100 augments. So you're going to have your choice to figure out how exactly you want to play and fit it to your playstyle. There is a new perk called Melee Macchiato, and I love this because I love coffee, but it's this new melee enhancement perk that gives yourself a really strong punch attack that throws enemies back. It's really fun. Like, you like Captain America punch a dude all the way across the map. It's great. Maybe exaggerating a little bit, but it's pretty great to see a zombie body just go flying up in the air, you know? There is a new ammo mod called the Shadow Rift. This deals shadow damage and has a chance to teleport enemies away, and it can sometimes make them fall from up in the sky because they get thrown through a teleporter down there. So it's pretty great. There is a new field upgrade called the Dark Flare, and it's this high damage field upgrade that deals lethal shadow damage through a high-powered beam that can shoot through multiple targets. I don't know about you, but that seems pretty good, and I might just be using that exclusively. This augment can actually heal teammates who get hit by the beam as well, so if you hit some teammates, it's totally fine. Now, something that's returning is Gobblegums, and you can actually switch Gobblegum packs at any time. The types have been simplified and all rarities are earnable just by playing. You can create packs of 5 gums and you can store 3 unique gums on you, so you don't even need to use them right away. You can just store them for whenever you decide to use them. Packs will be randomly dispensed from your pack, and you can hold up to 3 instead of eating them right away. So basically, whatever you have sorted in your pack that you're holding, you won't be able to necessarily choose which one you get first. It'll just randomly select one for you, but I mean, it's better than nothing. So again, like I said, this is only going to be consumed when activated, so you won't lose anything if you get interrupted. Now, there are 3 types of effects that can happen for you with Gobblegums. The instant or timed, which will last a certain amount of time if you ingest it, and conditional. So something specific has to happen for the gum to activate. So the best ones are definitely instant, but I mean, there's some situational ones that I'm sure will be great. Again, I didn't get to see all the different Gobblegum types. I did only get to get a few, so it's going to be something else that I'm going to be playing in the beta. Now, as for wonder weapons, something that we all love, we are getting a new one, and it's called the Beam Smasher. There are 2 functions. 1 fires an energy beam, 2 emits sonic waves that slow enemies and make them more vulnerable to damage, and there's an extra function when you're out of ammo, it'll reload and actually send a shockwave out as you're reloaded. Of course, our beloved ray gun is back, so you don't have to worry about that. So something that I really liked and I really wanted to get my hands on during the preview but couldn't is this new support item called the Mutant Injection. You can actually turn yourself into a mangler for a limited amount of time and do a massive amount of damage. It's actually kind of crazy to see it work in person, so something to keep your eye open for. Like I said, there are new enemies and they are actually evolving. So the base zombie has a chance to spawn a vermin spawned out of its head, and just like this weird spider nasty thing, and I hate it so much. But if you leave a vermin alive long enough, it can actually transform even further and it can turn into a parasite, which is a flying zombie. And it's pretty bad, so I don't suggest alive for too long. So what's really interesting is that they really wanted zombies this time around to be more approachable for new players. So there is going to be something that comes after launch. So it's this guided main quest mode. Now you do have your standard one, right? Where it's like your normal round progression and you don't get any guidance on where exactly you need to go except for how to get Pack-a-Punch, right? You have your side quests and Easter eggs, and you get unique rewards for actually finishing the campaign in the standard mode. However, the new mode that's coming after the season is released and after launch is called Guided. So this gives you full guidance through main quests. So it gives you actual objectives to hit. And side quests are disabled, unfortunately, so you won't actually be able to do any Easter eggs. But what the nice thing is about this mode is that rounds are actually capped to quest progression. So you don't have to hold a half-alive zombie to keep rounds from progressing, and rounds will actually loop until your objective is done for that level. So you have full safety in doing your objective and then continuing on. Again, this is optional. If you want to do it the hard way, that's totally fine. There are some gameplay improvements that I actually really liked. You can share door buys, so you can pay for half of a door and the friend can pay for the other half, which is really nice because sometimes people don't be pitching in, you know? Now, there is only one type of salvage, so you don't need to worry about keeping count in your head of all the different pieces of salvage you get. And each player gets player-specific drops. So all of the loot that you see on the ground is specific to you. No one else can pick it up. There's no Pack-a-Punch menu anymore. It'll automatically just pack your weapon with one tap. Fucking bless, dude. Now, ammo mods are also part of your arsenal with weapon upgrades. You can use salvage to buy these upgrades. Armor upgrades can actually just be bought as wall buys, and you pay them with essence. And each wall listing has different levels of armor. For example, I found a level 3 armor on one of the islands, and I immediately grabbed that shit. So of course we have to talk about prestige for our hardcore players. Classic prestige does return to zombies with military levels. You know, there are 55 of them. Classic prestige, 10 prestiges, and the prestige master is 1,000 levels across all modes. So weapon progression is global, like I said before, and camo challenges are going to have unique zombies master camos, which I absolutely love. I loved doing this in the last few games, and I'm definitely going to be doing it here. So for the reticle customization, you can actually do reticle challenges to unlock as well. And good news is at launch, there are going to be 100% completion for calling card challenges right at the start. Another cool thing coming to Black Ops 6 Zombies is that you can actually set a specific zombie build for each weapon so that whenever you interact with it, you actually get that loadout. So for example, let's say you come across an SMG on the wall that you really like, right? You customize that in a zombie build in your inventory. When you buy that wall weapon, it'll come with whatever attachments that you made in your zombie build, which is amazing. So yeah, you basically set a zombie build and create a class, and that's the weapon build you'll get from the mystery box and wall buy and anywhere that you're going to interact with getting that weapon. It's optional and you can get something completely random, but it totally helps. Now, for the first time ever, we are also going to be able to earn a Wonder Weapon skin from completing the standard mode of a map. So I'm really excited. I hope I can get it for the ray gun. But yeah, my luck with getting Wonder Weapons is so low anyways. I don't know if it'll really do me any good, but it's really cool. You'll also get an exclusive calling card if you finish the standard main mode quest before the guided mode releases. So there's a lot to do at launch. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm actually really happy that they're only releasing 2 maps at launch, because for me, it's definitely about quality over quantity. And I'm really glad that they are taking the time to give us all these quality of life adjustments and 2 maps to explore, which I played about an hour, maybe an hour, a little less of Terminus. And there's a lot to that map, but it gets chaotic pretty fast. And I honestly really love how difficult it is. It feels like we're going back to classic round-based zombies, and I'm so happy. But let me know what your most favorite change is for Black Ops 6 Zombies, and I'll see you in the next video.